What did you say? Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading, and it's just after 4 o'clock on Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. This handsome dude, what's your name, kiddo? Is it Chirp? Are you Chirp? Oh, you know, when I first got chickens and roosters, I thought they only crowed in the morning. For some reason, I don't know why. I thought they only crowed in the morning, but that is not true. They crow all day long, and that was Tina. Yeah, Tina is a rooster. When Tina was born, I thought it was a female. And you all guys named Tina because Tina had long hair and looked like Tina Turner. So you guys named her Tina Turner. And then when Tina turned into a rooster, I just kept the name right there. So I hope everybody's doing well today. Oh my goodness, they're loud and crazy tonight. Loud and crazy. Well, let me show you. The sky is beautiful right now, but it wasn't this morning. It was not this morning. In fact, I've got some photos of the zigzags and crisscrosses and stuff, but it turned out to be pretty. It's not as blue as it would be. You want to go back in the house, girl? Well, you know, I want to tell you, I mentioned this in a past video, like before the election. And, you know, again, I'm not a political person, but there was an Amish man, Amos Miller, who has been really penalized. You know, this is what they did to my Chase Lounge, the criminals. For selling raw milk on his farm. And the GOV came in and did a search and signed a warrant. Had a bunch of officers come raid his house, shut him down. He couldn't feed his family. He couldn't sell his food. He couldn't sell it to members of his membership club and stuff. And then they did it again. They did it a couple of times, and it cost him so much money in litigation. Fortunately, all you kind people out there donated to his GoFundMe. But that's not the point. The point is that with your tax dollars pays for these perpetrators to enter somebody's home, just trying to earn a living, just trying to feed his family. The Amish are the placid, law-abiding, detached from society people. They generally don't vote. They generally don't have cell phones or computers. They're kind of secular. They're insulated, okay? But anyway, it turns out, and I'd mentioned this, that I really felt that the Amish were going to come out for the first time in a long time and just vote. Well, guess what happened in Pennsylvania? Lancaster, Pennsylvania is huge population of Amish. It's not like a couple hundred people. It's like thousands, 80,000 to be more precise. 80,000 Amish live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It is absolutely gorgeous, stunning. Like wherever you go, there are Amish quilts. There's Amish food, buffets, just stores. It's just really lovely. But anyway. So it turns out, and I saw this on Off Grid with Doug and Stacy just a little while ago, and Doug says, well, you know, the Amish actually did come out to vote, and they wanted to vote, right? They had enough of this nonsense. But, you know, they don't drive vehicles. They have only buggies, and sometimes they can't drive buggies like a really long distance. You know, they've got a horse, and the buggies, they usually just drive into town. So maybe the voting facilities were a little bit further away. So what happened was Elon Musk decided to pay for vans to pick them all up and bring them to vote. Yeah, he just loaded them up, paid for the vehicle, and dropped them off to vote because that's what they wanted to do. But some of them had no method for getting to the polls other than riding a buggy, and some of them actually did drive their own buggy. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting story to share with you guys. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. And, you know, when people have enough of something, they have enough. And the reason I'm bringing this to your attention is the Amish people are very, you know, like I said, they're non-combative. They keep to themselves. They're quiet, just like a lot of targeted people, right? And then when you're pushed and prodded and pushed and prodded, you can do one of two things. You can go along and get along and fold, or you can stand up and be counted. And this year, during election time, the Amish chose to stand up and cast a vote. And they cast a vote for whom they wanted, in a state that might have gone another direction. So this is the power of influence also. So this is a community that normally wouldn't go out. So maybe year after year, maybe only a couple of them voted. Maybe a couple hundred. Not thousands and thousands of them, right? So this is why you cannot give up. And you need to stand up and be counted in this disgusting, experimental behavior modification trafficking program. For profit. Corrupt. So now's the time. All you targeted people out there, get your channel up and running. Post a video a week, once a month even. Just post a video. Offer your testimony. You can offer your testimony story to me. You can place it in writing. You don't have to even give me your real name if you don't want me to read your real name. I mean, I want to know your real name, but I don't have to say your real name. But you need to stand up and be counted in this fight that we're having here. And this is a fight. This is a fight for our lives and the future of our families and children and future generations. And this is what we need to stand up for. And I feel for the Amish people for what they did to his farm, because it happened to me here. I was so excited to start my farm life here in Kentucky. And I bought all this acreage, all of this to have a farm. Who needs all this land if you're not going to farm? What, I've got to mow grass? I put up 3 greenhouses. And one by one, my brand new greenhouses were sliced, cut, rusted, torn down, dented. All 3 greenhouses. One of the smaller ones, I mentioned to the guy that I purchased it from what happened. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. There are still good people in this world. This is an eBay seller. He sent me a new one for free. I couldn't believe it. And then that one was taken down. And then my fig tree this year that should have had hundreds of figs. These criminals cut all the buds off so that I didn't have one. Then after I had that visitor, Jeff, the American guinea pig cash cow, I showed him about the strawberries, and he said that they were the most delicious strawberries he's ever eaten. You know, farm fresh strawberries, non-GMO, organic. Well, literally the next day after we shared strawberries, somebody came down here and stole every one of them. They were all gone. I never had more strawberries again. And then they decided to start cutting 44 branches in total. 44 branches in total off of all of my blackberries, black raspberries, red raspberries. All of them. I should have had them blooming all summer long. But after they cut 44 branches, they then burned the tips of them. And then they moved on to my elderberry tree and started burning that tree. That's been here for decades. The former owner had it here. He lived here 30 years. Talk about overreach. It doesn't matter if you're an Amish couple, an Amish family living in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, or you're a divorced woman living in rural Kentucky. There are envious, jealous losers out there that are willing to take what you have for nothing. And I wonder, you have to wonder, like all those officers that stormed his farm, could you imagine doing that for a living and going home to your wife and your wife saying, "Hey, honey, what did you do today?" And your sorry-ass husband says, "I went into Amish Miller's home, that lovely Amish man and his family, and we kicked him out of his friggin' farm. We stole all of his food and shut him down. You proud of me, honey? I did a good job today following orders." So anyway, on one of the comments for Off-Grid, Doug and Stacy, somebody mentioned about how disgusting the officers were that day. And I commented, "Oh, it's not just the officers, the military's worse." And then I got a response from a former military guy. The power of the internet. He said, "That's why I quit." He said, "I left. I saw what was coming. I saw what they were doing to people, and I didn't want any part of it." And he said, and unfortunately, a lot of the good guys who didn't want any part of it left. And now, what you're seeing is what you've got left. So I'm just putting that out there for you guys. A lot of the good ones left. So anyway, I'm going to get off my little rants here. But yeah, so the Amish came out to vote this year. And thank you, Elon Musk, for paying for the transportation for these lovely people to do something that they wanted to do, but they don't have vehicles. They have horse and buggies. And their horses can only ride a certain distance, I suddenly have a low battery, but I'm going to show you before I sign off what my chickens are doing now. So here we've got my chicken, and you can see she's missing her tail. She ran into the fox, grabbed her tail last week, but she's still alive. This is Trey Gowdy. We got to have good names for the roosters, right? Trey Gowdy. I had a Tucker Carlson, but they unalived my Tucker Carlson. What? Why would they have done that to Tucker Carlson? And they unalived my Elvira too. And just for the record, there was a targeted woman named Elvira. She had a horror show many years ago. You might remember her. Elvira. That's not her real name, but she was a targeted person, and they unalived her too. They like to unalive single women who are successful. But I hope everybody's doing well. These are my birdies. Oh, and suddenly everything got blurry. They don't want you to see some stuff. But I will do another video later today. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to sign off for now.